This is Epic Book Recaps, a podcast that offers complimentary audio summaries of influential nonfiction books, making learning a smarter experience. High Output Management by Andrew S. Grove. In your career, you'll face numerous challenges and expectations, with many depending on your ability to consistently deliver. Firstly, be aware that the landscape is ever-changing and full of novel concepts that you'll need to familiarize yourself with. Adaptability and a strong adherence to your core values will be crucial for your success. However, hard work alone is insufficient to guarantee achievement. True success comes from the collective triumphs of those you guide. This can seem like an insurmountable task, leading people to consistently perform at their best. But it's feasible, especially if you're committed to making it happen. This piece of wisdom has been affirmed by Ben Horowitz, author of The Hard Thing About Hard Things, who read this book in 1995 and found it an enlightening masterpiece that far exceeded its worth. He highlighted the ease of understanding the lessons presented in the book and their potential to enhance one's grasp of new management concepts. Horowitz asserts that this book is a reliable guide, even in the most challenging managerial situations, providing solutions to complex dilemmas. In your career, you have the potential to excel, to lead a responsive team, and to inspire them to exceed their current performance levels. This is not an impossible dream. Discover how in the following pages. Your business's survival hinges on regular checks and balances. Consider the task of serving a breakfast of eggs, toast, and coffee to a customer. All three components must arrive simultaneously. This necessitates employing basic production steps to create and deliver a product that meets the customer's desired quality, punctuality, and cost. Even under less than ideal production conditions, you bear the responsibility of fulfilling the agreed delivery time while maximizing profits. Don't wait for ideal conditions. Be proactive and make your move. Understanding the production flow is crucial, particularly the step that dictates the operation's progress. This is achieved by identifying the most time-consuming or labor-intensive product. With breakfast, the eggs would be this critical step. Hence, you need to plan the entire job around the eggs' cooking time, as this stage determines the entire process. Your production flow should commence with the most challenging step before proceeding to the easier ones. During production, three primary operations exist: process manufacturing, which alters the raw material's physical state, for example, cooking a raw egg; assembly, which combines different products into a new entity; and testing, which scrutinizes the new entity's characteristics. These stages can be adapted to any work, regardless of the specific activities involved. Despite your diligent efforts, unexpected complications can arise, requiring adjustments to the production flow. There are no rigid rules here. Adapt your methods as changes occur. A significant complication could occur when you need to execute two or more critical tasks simultaneously. In such cases, hiring additional help or training existing staff to become specialists in different areas could be an option. However, these measures may incur additional costs and could introduce unpredictability into the job, as you're relying on others and don't have full control over all steps. As a manager, your responsibility is to find the most cost-effective way to allocate resources while maximizing profits. This can be achieved by thoroughly understanding all involved factors and judiciously weighing your options. Your role is to identify the most effective plan of action. Regularly checking the quality of produced goods, the equipment, delivered goods, and available raw materials is part of your managerial duties. Since goods increase in value as they progress through the production process, early problem detection is vital to prevent wastage. Meticulously monitor every production stage to avoid wastage. Your goal should be to enhance productivity by prioritizing the most important tasks. As your services gain popularity, your business grows, meaning you'll have more staff and equipment under your watch. Having a set of robust indicators that alert you to deviations from the usual operations is crucial. For instance, in a breakfast company, having a daily sales forecast, inventory, and equipment indicator would be helpful. A sound indicator should focus on the output rather than the activity and measure something tangible. Your system must be competitive and guarantee customer satisfaction. Discover a more efficient way to achieve the best results, and you'll notice an increase in productivity. Working smarter, not harder, is the key. The output of a specific work activity provides its leverage over other activities, and the objective should be to continually elevate this leverage. There are two main methods of improving leverage: automation, which involves using machinery to accelerate and streamline work, and work simplification, which involves creating a detailed flowchart that outlines the production process and all its steps. Not every step is essential. Trim any excess. In every production process, remember that the number of tasks performed by the employees doesn't necessarily indicate success. Instead, success is measured by the output generated from each carefully planned activity. Your managerial success is gauged by your team's output. A manager's work is continual, always presenting a new task or issue requiring attention. Your output isn't only about what you accomplish personally, but includes the overall output of your organization and the output of neighboring organizations or teams under your influence. Your personal success isn't enough. Your team must succeed too. Regular information from your team is crucial as it impacts your decision-making abilities. However, this can only occur if you conscientiously observe your environment to ascertain the true state of affairs. Maintaining open lines of communication is essential so your team can express their concerns and together you can seek solutions. Your team must be able to communicate with you easily. When assigning tasks to your employees, avoid using your superior knowledge to control the situation. Instead, delegate responsibilities to your team members, ensuring you follow up since you remain accountable for the task's success. With all the tasks on your plate, 24 hours in a day may seem insufficient. However, effective time management is a vital skill to master. By identifying and planning around the most challenging tasks, combining similar tasks, and refusing to take on new responsibilities that you can't handle, you're creating an efficient management routine. Your subordinates look up to you for guidance and are ready to emulate your behavior. They may frequently interrupt your workflow with questions, so establish a structure to handle these interruptions while still giving them the attention they need. Avoid sending the wrong message to your team. Ineffectively conducted meetings waste everyone's time and can stifle ideas. While meetings often exceed their scheduled duration and can sometimes lead to disagreements or major disputes, they're an essential part of any organization because they're a platform for disseminating information. Meetings provide a platform for information exchange. Two basic types of meetings exist: process-oriented meetings, which are regular sessions for knowledge sharing and information exchange, and mission-oriented meetings, designed to address specific issues on an ad hoc basis. Both meeting types are critical for growth and effective task management. However, problems arise when too much time is spent in mission-oriented meetings. This suggests a multitude of spontaneous problems without solutions, indicating deeper issues within the organization. Constant problem-solving indicates an underlying issue. The quality of your decisions can determine the difference between success and failure. Your daily decisions range from significant to trivial and can be categorized into two types: forward-looking decisions that impact future endeavors and decisions made in response to an issue. Your ability to make wise decisions depends on your understanding of the problem at hand. Therefore, it's essential to gather ample information. A preferable decision-making model encourages open discussion from your team, where everyone's viewpoints and disagreements are heard, and the decisions to be made are clearly communicated. Every team member deserves to be heard. Even when they don't completely agree, all staff members are obligated to fully support the final decision. Implementing this model may be challenging due to potential emotional involvement during discussions. However, your organization should encourage employees to express their views without fearing ridicule or dismissal. Often there's a temptation to force decisions on others, but this approach deprives you of fresh perspectives on the situation. Before finalizing a decision, ask yourself who needs to make the decision, when it needs to be made, who should be consulted beforehand, who has the power to veto the decision, and who needs to be informed of the decision. If a startling decision must be made, don't just walk away. Allocate a later time to discuss it in depth, allowing people time to recover and solicit their opinions. Leaving your team in confusion is never beneficial. You must always be a step ahead, thinking about the future. An organization without a future plan is a ticking time bomb. Planning can be simplified by making forecasts based on product demand and strategizing accordingly. There must be a plan for every step. When planning for the future, careful consideration of the company's current state is vital. Conduct an environmental analysis, consider customer expectations, and strike a balance. If the company can deliver now, it's likely it can do so in the future. Planning without available resources to execute the plan is unwise. Evaluate ongoing projects against capabilities, then decide which projects should be discarded or placed on hold. This clears the path for new ventures and the necessary actions to achieve them. Know when to let go of projects. As a manager, you are the linchpin holding all other organizational elements together. Your team is your most significant asset, as their collective efforts influence the success of your objectives. You play a dual role in your organization, as both part of the larger entity and the bridge between management and team members. Numerous hybrid organizations and teams will form in the process of executing tasks, and their success depends on your ability to transition seamlessly from a managerial role to a team member role. When two units collaborate, it's nearly impossible to ensure that issues in one team don't affect the other, but it's feasible. This requires individuals to surrender their personal decisions to the group, trusting that each team member will make the best decisions. Your organization's culture should encourage both autonomy and coordination. Resources should also be properly allocated to ensure smooth project execution. Your organization's culture influences your team's reactions. Every organization needs rules, and it's your job to ensure everyone adheres to them. Behavioral patterns at work vary but can be controlled by free market forces, contractual obligations, and cultural values. Free market forces consider the value at which goods and services are exchanged. Contractual obligations govern transactions influenced by free market forces. However, when the value is not easily determined, contracts are necessary to establish standards. Cultural values are necessary as the environment constantly changes and the team relies on each member's contributions. As a manager, you establish and revise evaluation rules and articulate the organization's values and objectives, leading by example. You set the rules, so you must also abide by them. It's crucial to identify the most suitable control mode for everyone by considering your employees' motivation and the work environment. Every team member is a vital player, but you need to show them that. As long as each team member consistently gives their best, significant progress will be made. When an employee underperforms, it may be due to a lack of motivation or inability to carry out their duties. You need to identify the actual problem. You can do this by posing a question. If their life depended on accomplishing that task, would they do it? If the answer is yes, it means the employee lacks motivation. If they say no, the employee lacks the necessary skills. The problem must be identified, and a solution must be found. Your role as a manager is to extract peak performance from your team through training and motivation. Motivation isn't something you can bestow upon your team members. It must originate within them. However, you can foster an environment that encourages them to flourish. Needs drive us to work, and when these needs are satisfied, motivation wanes. If a person seeks a job to earn more money, once they earn enough, money no longer motivates them to work. Whereas previous management styles advocated firing underperforming employees, contemporary styles aim to maximize each employee's skills. Changes in the environment or life circumstances can alter a person's needs. Your responsibility as a manager is to recognize these changes and ensure your employees remain motivated despite them. Regular reviews are an effective motivation tool. Consistent reviews keep your team alert. Performance reviews play a significant role in an employee's growth, providing feedback and advice on how they can enhance their efficiency. However, these reviews must be thoughtfully delivered, as a poorly communicated review can do more harm. A review identifies missing skills and provides remedies while ensuring the employee remains motivated to continue working. There's no definitive method of evaluating performance, but clarifying your expectations in your mind and judging based on these expectations can help ensure an unbiased review. When delivering a performance review, be honest but also attentive to the employee's perspective. Don't let emotions sway you. Listen attentively to your team members' input. Performance reviews can highlight both strengths and weaknesses, or they can focus on areas requiring improvement. Regardless, everyone has room for improvement, and everyone's performance should be regularly reviewed. Your management skills will be challenged daily, some days more than others. Two of the most challenging tasks you might face include interviewing prospective employees and persuading a valued employee not to resign. During an interview, you're tasked with selecting a suitable candidate, educating them, and assessing their fit within the organization, all within a limited time frame. This can be challenging. It's important to evaluate past performance and references, but these can often contain inaccurate information. Therefore, let the applicant do most of the talking while you guide the interview. Ask hypothetical questions and invite their questions. This way, you gain insight into the applicant's knowledge and its application in previous workplaces, helping you evaluate their potential. Despite your best efforts, you may err in your candidate assessment. Remember, no interview process is foolproof. It merely increases your chances of selecting a competent candidate. There's no perfect interview process. Strive to do your best. Employees leave or get fired from organizations. However, when a valued employee contemplates quitting due to feeling undervalued, it implies a managerial failing. Handle this situation delicately. Convey your appreciation through your words and actions. Actively listen to them, avoid arguing, and don't attempt to change their mind immediately. Schedule a subsequent meeting to present a better offer, which could include transferring them to another department or offering a raise. This demonstrates your appreciation of their contributions. Promotions and bonuses are beneficial as they motivate employees to excel. If an employee stagnates in one role, they may lose motivation to improve their skills and may eventually tire of the job. Do your utmost to identify their concerns and work towards addressing them. Others may be observing your actions, and how you handle this situation could influence their motivation levels. A valued employee is an asset to the organization. Training your employees is your responsibility, as insufficient training can lead to inefficiencies, excessive costs, and hazardous situations. Training shouldn't be exclusive to specialists or experts, but should also include lower-level staff. When you train your staff, you serve as a role model. What they see you do, they will emulate. Thus, always act appropriately. Your employees will mirror your actions. Compile a list of areas requiring knowledge enhancement, seek their input, and match these with available resources. Create a learning outline to provide clarity. Don't be discouraged if the workload seems overwhelming or your employees' learning progress is slow. Patience is key. You'll also benefit from the process by improving your knowledge and achieving a sense of fulfillment. Learning is a gradual process. Be patient. Your organizational role entails a plethora of responsibilities. However, you're not a quitter and you can handle it. At this juncture, it's clear that you're keen on improving your managerial effectiveness. This aspiration is a positive sign of your determination to make things work. If you've been doubting your abilities, reconsider. You have what it takes to excel as a manager, leading your team and handling your various work tasks. Here's what you should do. Regularly review your employees' performance. Identify those deserving a raise or a departmental transfer and reward them accordingly.